From a bus driver shortage to falling AP scores, the coronavirus pandemic has left the Alamance-Burlington school system facing challenges every day. But the district's superintendent says there's one group of employees helping the return to in-person learning run smoothly. Our Maeve Ashbrook walks us through a district update.
Test anxiety, trouble with friends, and simply not wanting to go to class are just a few reasons Amy Witterich says students go to see their school nurse.
We've always had some of that. I think the tricky part now is kind of teasing out, what is illness and what is avoidance.
But in a COVID-19 world, a headache or runny nose doesn't mean a student can just go back to class. Witterich, the Alamance-Burlington school system's lead school nurse, says it's not that her job has changed because of the pandemic, but its focus has.
All of a sudden, a lot of our work we're not able to do other parts of our job because there's so much work involved in assessing students for symptoms, sending them home, and then the whole communicable disease follow-up piece.
I don't know what we would do without being able to have a full-time nursing position assigned to each one of our schools, which is something that we took on prior to the pandemic, and thank goodness that we did.
Instead of sitting at home on computers, ABSS students are back in person for the first time this semester since March 2020. To prepare, Superintendent Bruce Benson suggested masks be required on campus.
So it's a 4-3 to retain mask at this time.
Benson says the board's decision was key to what he says has been a successful semester.
I think we're doing pretty well.
The school district serves about 22,000 students. Benson says 500 are enrolled in the Alamance Virtual School, a new online-only program for families wanting to continue remote learning. According to data from ABSS's weekly COVID-19 dashboard, 855 students have tested positive for the virus since the week of August 27th. That's about 3.9% of students across 37 schools, including the Virtual Academy. Of those schools, less than half have had over 25 cumulative cases this semester. Only 7 schools have reported a cluster of coronavirus cases. Alamance County is still experiencing high community transmission, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Witterich says the district is working hard, but COVID case counts are a reflection of the community.
I think people are often look for the schools to be a place like, what is the school doing wrong because you have COVID? Well, the school's not doing anything wrong, right? COVID's in our community.
It's the school nurse's job to call parents and tell them their child is a close contact. Benson says it adds a layer to the already complicated position.
Kids are missing 14 days of education. When you have younger students, it's impacting parents' work. And so those conversations are hard, and some families are very scared.
This month, Pfizer asked the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to approve its COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11.
What do you think that looks like if that's approved for the future of ABSS and for these elementary middle school students?
Well, I hope that it is approved. I thought every month the board has to vote as to whether we're going to continue masking or not. I don't think it's necessarily just about the access to the vaccine. It's also about the level of transmission in our community.
Even though it's not available for everyone yet, Benson says the more students that get vaccinated, the more normal school can become. Maeve Ashbrook, ELN Local News.
Benson announced he's stepping down from his position on January 1st, 2022, even though his contract isn't up. He declined to speak with ELN News Network about his decision. Chair of the Board of Education, Allison Gant, told ELN the board has started talking about its next steps to replace Benson, but has not made any decisions on the process it discusses now.